Hello and welcome back to the Indian Wisdom Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Raj Balkaran. Today we'll be hearing a story of Viṣṇu, and in particular, Viṣṇu's serpent couch. What do you mean, Viṣṇu's serpent couch? Well, yeah, there's some fascinating symbology associated with Viṣṇu and his couch time. Yeah. So in Hindu cosmology, there is no sort of linear thinking, right? The cycles, just like seasons. There's no linear thinking about seasons. There's spring, summer, fall, autumn, winter, the end, no, and then spring again. And so there's a cycle of creation and dissolution or destruction, and then it goes on again and again and again and again. How many times? Infinite. Not that we can't count that high. It is beyond finitude. It is beyond measure. It is beyond the realm of measure. It is not immeasurable insofar as we cannot measure it because we don't have the instruments. It is beyond the realm of what can be measured. So there's some sort of time, space between creations. So in the void between creations, i.e., once the last universe has been dissolved and before the next one will be created, the great god Viṣṇu sprawls out on a serpent couch upon the primordial oceans. This lovely, luscious metaphor of all things being dissolved into the primordial oceans to be recreated again and again and again. Rich, rich, rich symbology of water and creation myths. Yeah. So he sprawled out on his couch, and his couch actually has a name because it is an entity, Adi Shesha, the primordial serpent. He, like Viṣṇu, Adi Shesha, this couch, this support of Viṣṇu, transcends the bonds of time and space, stretched out into infinity upon the oceans, cosmic oceans, the oceanic abyss. Okay, this abyss is that same abyss from which Brahma, the creator, creates all things at the dawn of each universe, and that into which Shiva, the destroyer, dissolves all things at the end, at the dusk of each creation. The cycles of creation have occurred before this one will occur after it. They are without number. Yes. They are beginningless without beginning, anadi. They're endless without end, ananta. And so Viṣṇu's great primordial serpent couch is commonly called ananta, the infinite, he without end. His endlessness can be conceived as spatially as well as temporally. Viṣṇu's serpent couch, like Viṣṇu himself, exists beyond the scope of time, space, and causation. Ananta didn't always have this role. Viṣṇu comes from the verbal root vish, sort of to pervade, the all-pervasive one, Viṣṇu. Right? So let's hear the backstory of Ananta. Okay? Interesting tale from the Puranas. Initially, the serpent Ananta was one of the children of Kadru, the mother of all serpents. So Kashyapa is a very busy man, very busy sage, very busy figure, and that he has fathered a great many species. Okay. Among the species were the demons, the gods, and also the birds and the snakes. There was a great rivalry between the mother of serpents, Kadru, and the mother of birds, Vinata. So Kashyapa's two wives, Kadru, mother of serpents, Vinata, mother of Kadru, mother of birds, Vinata. Sorry. Kadru is the mother of serpents, Vinata is the mother of birds, and there's a great rivalry between them. And there came a time when, it's a very involved story, Kadru tricks Vinata into a bet, and the loser of which would have to become the slave of the winner. Kadru wins the bet through some duplicitous means and with the help of her serpent children. Okay. But Ananta would not participate in the vile scheme. He outright refused his mother, and when she solicited his aid for her nefarious plot, he said, no, thank you. Kadru was so angry that she cursed him, her own child, to perish in the fires of King Janamejaya's snake sacrifice. This is the frame of the Mahabharata, as some of you might be aware. But Ananta was saved by Viṣṇu and rewarded for his virtue with the honor of becoming Viṣṇu's eternal serpent couch. Okay. It's rather a involves story told in the Puranas and in the Adiparva in the first book of the Mahabharata. But let's suffice it to say, serpents and birds are sort of natural enemies, perhaps also in nature as well as in this mythology. But they're also quite related, serpents and birds, so they have a common ancestor, common father in this case. It is interesting that Viṣṇu adopts both the best of birds, the powerful eagle Garuda, for his mount, as well as the best of serpents, Ananta, as his other mount. One is sort of a mount on the go, a vehicle, and one is sort of a mount at rest, a couch, if you will. Right? In the Gita, Krishna even says, among serpents, I am Ananta. Right? So he gives a sense that this is the apex of serpent kind. Garuda was Vishnu's mount by air, and Ananta his serpent couch when reclining in the cosmic ocean. Garuda is a fiery creature. Ananta is watery, fire and water. Garuda is assertive, slicing through air like enemies, alike with his talons and sharp beak. Ananta, by contrast, is accepting, supportive. Right? He supports the weight of Viṣṇu for all eternity. These two special creatures represent two aspects of Viṣṇu, fire and water. Viṣṇu is compassionate, caring, and ready to help. He is, after all, the cosmic preserver because he cares so much about creation. He's always available to creatures in need. But Viṣṇu is also virile, powerful, ready to jump into action. His divine discus and mace are always at ready to battle enemies, typically for the sake of protection. Yes. Serpents and birds have one important thing in common. They are dvijas. What's a dvija? A twice born. What do you mean twice born? Well, in this case, they are born first as eggs, and then they're secondly born once those eggs hatch. They are twice born. This is an important nod to Brahmanical learning. One is considered twice born when one is initiated into Vedic training. Now, born again, this is a common religious metaphor, cross-culturally, yes? And so Garuda and Ananta also represent divine knowledge and the mysteries of existence. Serpents in particular are ancient keepers of esoteric wisdom. The great sage Patanjali, compiler of the Yoga Sutras, was himself an incarnation of Ananta. So goes the story, the legend. Serpent power is associated with Kuṇḍalinī Shakti, the divine power that pervades all life and the cosmos itself. When localized in the body, Kuṇḍalinī travels through the upright spine, the subtle spine, not the physical anatomical spine. Yes. Latent Kuṇḍalinī power lies coiled in the base of the spine, waiting to be awakened through yogic practice or tantric practice. Patanjali is typically depicted as part serpent, or he's crowned by 7 serpent hoods. This represents his raised Kuṇḍalinī Shakti piercing his 7 chakras, culminating in his 1,000-petaled crown chakra. Cobras in particular represent Kuṇḍalinī energy since they are not only serpentine, but can periodically, episodically attain upright posture. It is important to note that serpents have no spine, no physical spine, that is, and spend their existence on their bellies. Perhaps cobras have a spiritual spine. This represents completely latent Kuṇḍalinī Shakti, right? The horizontal axis, which has yet to rise. The body is a microcosm of the universe itself, and therefore Kuṇḍalinī Shakti pervades the cosmos in latent form. And this is symbolized by Viṣṇu's serpent couch. I mean, Viṣṇu is the all-pervasive one, perhaps the all-pervasive presence or consciousness in the cosmos. And he is part and parcel with, or supported by at very least, this serpent energy that pervades the primary oceans. Right? So this can be understood as what in other traditions we think of as Shiva and Shakti, consciousness and energy. Right? Ananta played a very important role when the demons and gods worked together to churn the celestial oceans. The oceans represent existence itself. Viṣṇu took on his great tortoise, his Kurma avatar, his tortoise form, and scuttled himself to the bottom of the ocean floor so that the mighty Mount Mandara could be placed on his back to be used as a turning pole. Right? So this turning literally takes place on Viṣṇu's back. Just as importantly, Ananta volunteered his own body to be used as a churning rope and wrapped himself around the great mountain. The gods lined up on one side of the ocean, the demons on the opposite shore, and so the churning continued. Right. The demons grasp him on one side and the gods on the other, and their collaborative tug of war begins. And of course, for those of you who know the tale, great riches are churned from the ocean, including the elixir of immortality itself. And none of this would have been possible without the help of Ananta, representing the Kuṇḍalinī power that churns creation in search of immortality. So, this is a little tale from the stories behind the poses about Anantasana. There's literally a pose called Anantasana. And if one doesn't realize that it's named after Viṣṇu's serpent couch, one does not understand its posture, much less its symbology or the mentality it might be aiming to facilitate. I'll read a little bit of a spiritual gloss from the stories behind the poses. This posture requires you to be relaxed, aware, and deliberate. You need to find your balance and keep it through relaxed focus. This is how you connect with the power of Kuṇḍalinī flowing through your spine. But this isn't the active Kuṇḍalinī of Garuda. This is the passive Kuṇḍalinī of Ananta, the primordial serpent support of Viṣṇu. Embody calm, still water instead of fire. Breathe into your body, right, in this posture. Yes. Relax the conscious mind and surrender to the depths of instinctive, intuitive knowing. Okay. So this is a snippet of the vast saga between bird kind and serpent kind in Indian myth. And hopefully we have shared a little something regarding the symbology of serpent's couch, of Viṣṇu's serpent couch and Kuṇḍalinī Shakti. All right. Until next time, keep well. Feel free to get in touch if I can be of service. You may even wish to study with me at the online school, indianwisdomschool.com. I wish you all a very happy holidays. All the best. Namaste.